Alright, so I'm back again with another photo book review. This time I'm just doing one book, and this one right here is Steve McCurrys' South Southeast, and this has a lot of his photos from the 80s and 90s. A lot of them are from India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, that kind of stuff. And this book is pretty massive. I don't know if you can tell. I got my tape measure right here, so I'll give it a little measure. It's about 15 inches in height and about 11 and a quarter in width. And I mean, it's so big I got my GoPro out. This is what I'm shooting on, and I can still barely fill up the whole thing with it. But this is a pretty awesome book. It doesn't have a ton of photos in it, which I know some people have criticized it for, but it really has some of his absolute best work in it. And it's pretty cool because they're all huge, full-page images. And again, those pages are massive, so you see these images and they're pretty striking. They're so big. And again, this is more of his, I guess not necessarily his early work. This one right here is from 1995. I'll try to pull it around for you. You got the one photo over here, and then you have kind of a description on the top page. It's kind of an unusual layout because normally you open it and read it like this, but since a lot of his photos are kind of landscapes, they oriented it on the page like that, so they get maximum, I guess, maximum effectiveness or economy of space. But I'll probably have to turn this around a little bit while I'm doing this. But you got some cool stuff. This one right here is from Sri Lanka. That's how they fish down there. He went back and took photos of this more recently that are probably a little bit better, but he probably had a lot higher end gear. And Steve McCurry is pretty awesome. He's one of the great photographers of our era. He's done tons of stuff for National Geographic. The famous Afghan girl cover, that was all him. Lots of other stuff. Tons of travel photography and things like that. Here's some really cool stuff from India. You got the train there and the Taj Mahal in the background. It's from 1983. And you got sort of little chapter breaks and stuff. It just goes on. There's tons of photos in here. You just gotta love him. He shot all this stuff right here on film. I think he was a big fan of Kodachrome. And you can really tell the colors and stuff really stand out. And actually, he did a documentary. He was given the last roll of Kodachrome film they ever made before they discontinued it. And he was, given it, and somebody, I think it was National Geographic, followed him around, did a little documentary of him going around, filling up that last roll with 36 amazing images. And it shows a little bit about his photographic process and everything. It's pretty awesome. And you can find it on YouTube. I'll try to add a description, or I'll try to add a link in the description. And that's definitely something worth checking out. Trying to find the Afghan girl cover. It's somewhere in here. Here's a famous one right here. I lost it. I also have Magnum contact sheets, and I'm a big fan of that. I just saw this one right here. That's one of his photos he chose to have in Magnum contact sheets. This was all taken in India in 1983, and it's kind of during a dust storm. All the women kind of huddled together there. It's just got a great image. It's just everything, the composition, the way it's so clean around the edges, and he's got all the women huddled right there. You can see little pots, the trees. Everything about it is just pretty much flawless. I mean, it's got great detail, just looks really nice. The colors are great, and I mean, it really brings you into the moment and makes you kind of appreciate what it was like to be there at that time. I guess I kind of flip it around and show it like that. Do it a little bit more justice, showing it the right way. But that right there is a really awesome photo, and I think he says at some point this is one of his personal favorite photos. So that's definitely why it's in here. And I don't remember exactly how many photos are in this book. I want to say it's around 38, which isn't really a ton for a photo book, but it's not bad either. And this was actually the cover of one of his other books. I forget the name of it. But yeah, you've got tons of great photos. Like this one right here, that's so cool. You got the guy kind of camping out in the tree with a little fire as the sun sets and everything. Just a really nice image. That was taken in India in 1998. So does a lot of stuff in India. I know that's kind of one of the big things. He also did stuff in Pakistan and Afghanistan, especially around the time of the Afghan War. That's where he took the famous National Geographic cover of the Afghan girl. That's a cool one right there. Just the composition of the three guys, just the colors, the blue paint, the red turbans, just really striking images. And I kind of wish there was a little bit more of a description about how he took the images and his process of how he searches out images, like interesting people and stuff, because he does a lot of portraiture, as you can see. And he does show a little bit of that in the little special I was talking about, which I'll try to add a link to. And it's pretty interesting. I don't find that kind of photography very easy. It can be kind of hard to approach people like that. I do it every once in a while, but I never seem to have quite the same results as a lot of the great photographers. Like that one right there, just so great. It's the composition and everything, the lighting and the color, even that just kind of the look on her face. It just all seems perfect. This one was from Afghanistan in 1992, so some really cool stuff. Definitely something worth picking up. You can find it on Amazon. I think it runs about $40, maybe $45, and it's definitely something worth picking up. A great photo book from one of the greatest living photographers for sure. That was pretty cool right there. Looks like that was in Cambodia, kind of sleeping in the hammock with snakes slithering around. But definitely a really cool book, worth checking out, with lots of really interesting, worthwhile photos. There's another one from Afghanistan. I think that's 1992, so that's a little bit after the Soviets left. That's pretty much all I gotta say on this. I thought the Afghan girl was in here, but I haven't seen it. Doesn't really matter though. I'm sure everybody's seen that one. Got some cool stuff like that. You just get a sense for his eye. Again, this was in India, and just kind of a street view. And a lot of people could have taken the same photo and made it really boring. But again, his composition, it works really well. The fact that the train's there just kind of adds something to it. The way he didn't get too much sky, but he got a little bit. You can see down this street pretty clearly, but you can also see all the stuff that's going on in this street. You can see the vendors, and you can see all the people here with their little carts and just kind of walking around and everything. Just really good photographer. And I think everybody could probably learn at least a little something from him. So if you want to, you can pick up that book. That's Steve McCurrys, South Southeast.